Coming up on Out and About Art, you'll get a look at a recent Imperial Symphony Orchestra performance, learn all about the newest exhibit at Outer Space Gallery over in Winter Haven, and find out about a local nonprofit organization that's working to help and heal through the arts. It's all coming up, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome to this month's episode of Out and About Art. I'm your host, Dion Spires. If you're a regular viewer of the show, you should be fairly familiar by now with the Imperial Symphony Orchestra, and if you're from the Lakeland area, the name Michael McArthur may ring a bell. Michael McArthur is a local singer-songwriter who has experienced exciting success with 2 albums under his belt and recognition from multiple media outlets. Michael and the ISO recently joined forces to provide a new type of musical experience that they called the Singer-songwriter sessions. This had the ISO adding their own flair to some of Michael's original music with brand new original scores. It all happened right here at the Polk Theater, and I have some highlights from that evening for you to enjoy.
All day long, a stranger blowing up her phone. She tried to say that she don't know. Here we go.
I've been playing music most of my life. Singing and playing guitar and writing songs since high school. And in 2006, my brother and I opened up Black and Brew here in town. And I left, a few years after we were open, I left to pursue music because it's been sort of my passion since I was a little kid and a dream. And I've been chasing that dream ever since. For as long as I can remember, I've been listening to music and singing music, and it's like for most people, music is something that kind of gets you through life, you know, whether it's a happy time or a sad time. Music is so important, and I wanted to be able to be that for someone else. And because music has been such an important part of my life, you know, my family, a lot of people in my family play music, and so I grew up around it, and I couldn't imagine my life without it.
Good evening, Lakeland. Thank you for being here tonight. So this is totally a first for me, playing with an incredible orchestra, and I know it's a first for the ISO too, playing with somebody like me, a singer-songwriter. So I'm so grateful that we are experiencing this together. It's a special night.
This is my crazy idea, and I'm fortunate that Michael McArthur is willing to be my partner in crime on this one. The symphony is honored, honestly, to be sharing the stage with Michael McArthur here at the Polk Theater for a very special concert that will put symphonic charts behind Michael's already beautiful and soulful songs.
Well, truly, I'm just grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful to be a part of that, bridging that gap between contemporary music and the symphony, and giving Lakeland something that hopefully they've never experienced before. I'm just grateful to be a part of that.
They say love is a losing game, taking on no prisoners, only heartache and pain. Oh, but I feel so alive when I'm with you. Is this fight worth the spilling blood? I've almost had enough, so close to giving up. Oh, but I just might die
Christopher Lowry wrote the symphony charts, and he's just a brilliant composer, and Chris jumped on the opportunity as well because this is just something that's so new and so special for everybody involved that he was thrilled to be able to work with us on it. There are so many artists, popular artists, that people may remember from when they were growing up in their teenage years who, as their careers have changed, have had this same thing. They've had symphonic charts written for their music, and there are popular artists that you wouldn't expect, like rappers as well, that have symphonic charts. And I thought, you know, of course we could bring one of those groups in for that kind of experience here, but how much cooler could it be if we could do that with somebody who was an up-and-coming artist from our community, and really make something that the residents here and the music community and the arts community could be proud of.
When I heard the orchestrations for the first time, I think I couldn't do anything but smile. You know, I think symphonic music is something that moves everybody. You know, I think that everyone can relate to it. It's special in that way, and so having the opportunity to sort of blend that element with my music it's going to be good for me. I don't know if it'll be good for anybody else, but it's going to be really good for me.
One of the things that Michael is so good at is creating this very intimate atmosphere, and I think that sometimes that can be a challenge for symphonies. And so I want people to come in and feel like this is a performance just for each person out there. I want it to be an intimate experience and an emotional experience for everybody, and I want everybody to leave with a smile on their face as big as mine is. I think it's just going to be absolutely beautiful, and that really benefits the symphony to be able to reach people in a different way than a massive symphony hall.
It wasn't long ago this was just an idea saying, you know, wouldn't it be great if we had a songwriter somewhere and we played with them to open up our season and our new year here. And it's such a thrill to see it come together like it did. Finding Michael, of course, we knew of him. Finding an arranger in Christopher Lowry of this music. The wonderful musicians here. This is the first time they've ever played those instruments today. They've never played them before, so they're pretty good players. No, it is a thrill, and I hope you'll keep supporting the ISO and Michael for that matter. It's just wonderful to make music together. I know it's a thrill for Michael and his band, but it's also a thrill for us. So keep supporting what you're supporting. It's wonderful for this community. Thank you.
You know, here in Lakeland and Polk County, we really are blessed to have so many amazing venues, and to have this historic venue at the Polk Theater just really lends itself to that living room kind of feeling. I think being in the Polk Theater, they're so great to work with, and they have such an amazing setting for something like this that it's the right size, it's the right atmosphere, and it's amazing to be right downtown in Lakeland where folks can go grab dinner beforehand and go back out and grab a drink afterwards. It's really kind of the perfect night out on the town right here in downtown. I want our music community to support one another in as many ways as possible. And one of the cool things about this is that now not only does the symphony get to show a different side of itself, but so does Michael McArthur. And so we certainly as the symphony want to be able to expand on that for other local artists. So yeah, stay tuned.
The Imperial Symphony Orchestra continues to put on a number of performances throughout the year, with 3 coming up next month. All of those performances are sure to be full of spectacular music, so stay tuned to their website at www.imperialsymphony.org for times, dates, and tickets. If you liked what you heard in that highlight package, you can also keep up with Michael McArthur and his work via his website, www.michaelmacarthurmusic.com. Now we're here at one of the many awesome galleries that we have right here in Polk County. This is Outer Space Gallery in Winter Haven. We've covered events here before on the show, and I'm very excited about this latest exhibit that's running all this month because it's highlighting a very young artist in a very unique way. Here with me today to tell me all about it are the artists themselves. We've got Trent Manning here, and his daughter Harlow will be coming up in just a few minutes. How are you doing today, Trent?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for coming out to do the interview with me.
Oh, thank you.
So this exhibit's called Inspired, and it just opened, and it's really, really cool and unique. Why don't you give me some background on what the exhibit is and how it came to be?
Originally, I had scheduled myself for a one-man show here, and I decided I wanted to do something a little different because people were used to seeing my work around here.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the favorite things to do with Harlow is we sit at night while we watch movies, sketch together, and one night after she went to bed, I was left with her sketchbook.
Mm-hmm.
So I started flipping through it, just left alone with it, and I really got to look at them, and I realized they were really, really good, really unique and interesting. So we had talked about doing a show together for years, and I said, well, this is a great opportunity since I curate the gallery.
Mm-hmm.
I can do whatever I want here.
Absolutely.
So I wasn't really quite sure how I was going to pull it off, but I knew I wanted to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got in and started working with her, and you know, it came out wonderful. I'm very pleased with it.
Yeah, I love the work in here, and it's really similar in the style of drawing to your work. So how does that feel for you to see that kind of influence in her work?
It makes me very happy, actually. This piece is actually the one that inspired the show. And
oh, really?
Yeah, when I saw the hand had fallen off, I was like, oh wow, she's, you know, truly, it's truly my daughter. Like, I was kind of proud daddy moment there for a minute. And so, you know, in turn, she inspired me, and it's been a great opportunity. I've learned to be a lot more creative in the painting because she has a childlike innocence and creativity. She doesn't have to justify what she wants to do. And I think I overthink a lot of my work. So it actually kind of opened up my mind a little bit and said, you know what, I can do a little more and not have to justify it, and be a little more creative with my work. So it was good for both of us.
And I love that it kind of goes full circle where you guys kind of inspire each other, and it's clear that she's inspired you, which is really neat.
Yeah, it's a perfect title for the show. I mean, it just kept coming to me, so it's great.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite piece in here?
I like the zombie family, honestly. Yeah. It was originally done as 3 different portraits on 3 different pages.
Okay.
So we put them together to make a family portrait of the baby, mama, and zombie.
Cool. So Harlow seems to want to pursue this as kind of her future, at least on some level. And it's really cool that she has a dad who does it, that can inspire her and kind of motivate her and show her that, you know, like she can do it and give her opportunities like this. How important is it to you for kind of youth to see that it's possible?
Oh, very much so. We're encouraging school field trips, and I want to see as many kids come through and see kids' artwork on the wall, and then they realize that, you know, they can do it too. Harlow told me that she has friends that said, you can't be an artist. And she came home and she said, they said I can't be an artist. And that is actually the mentality of a lot of people. They think it isn't a real job, or it's not something that they can pursue. So I want to show them that, yeah, you can. Even a 7-year-old's work can be shown in a way that it's very professional and inspiring.
Now, what's been kind of the highlight of getting to work closely with your daughter on putting together an exhibit like this, bringing her into what you do for a living?
More studio time, because she loves our studio time together. But having so many exhibits that I've booked, I'm up here a lot by myself, and So it's just one excuse to bring her in after school and work with her for a couple hours. So there's more time with her.
Yeah. And how often would she get to come in with you?
2-3 times a week.
Wow.
So I'd pick her up from school and bring her over, and we'd spend a couple hours. She would tell me the color palette, and she would instruct me what she wanted to do with it. So very much she led the pieces. She told me the color palette. She told me how she wanted it done, what the size was, and she was very much involved.
I love that. It's very important to let young people like that be creative if they want to be
definitely.
creative. Give them that outlet.
Ever since she could speak, she said she's wanted to be an artist, and that's never changed.
Cool. Now, how long is this exhibit going to run?
December 1st, so 6 weeks, yes.
Okay.
And I hope it to be an annual show, actually, I would like to see next year her to be a little more hands-on, and then eventually be more her, less me, until it's all her, is really what I would love to see.
That would be really cool to see that progression over the
Yeah,
years.
and I think people would like to see it too.
Absolutely. Your followers and people in the area, I think they'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me about it, and I hope you guys have great luck with this over the next month. And if it comes back next year, I'll definitely be coming to check it out.
Thank you very much.
So now I'm here with the artist herself, Harlow Manning. How are you doing, Harlow?
Good.
Thank you for being here to talk to me about your exhibit. I think it's super cool. All of this artwork was drawn by you in the last 6 years. Is that what you told me? The art that you draw is pretty interesting. It's a little creepy. It's a little cute.
I get that from my dad.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I get the cuteness from me.
Of course. Yeah. So, what inspires you to draw things like this, like the girl with no hand behind us and that sort of thing?
Like, when I'm happy, I draw like the painting over there. Maybe like when I'm like mixed emotions, I draw like a zombie flower, which I did draw.
Okay.
When I'm mad, I probably draw like a zombie boy with a
Try to eat me. So what's your favorite piece in here? Because you've got some really cool ones.
Probably Frankie.
Frankie?
He worked so hard on that one.
Yeah.
So
When did you come up with the idea for Frankie? How old were you?
probably like 4.
4? Wow. So what was that like to see this drawing that you did when you were 4 years old become a full-blown sculpture with the light that works? That's pretty cool, right?
I just felt pretty excited because I had no idea this was going to happen.
Yeah. What was your reaction when your dad came to you and told you, I want to make an exhibit out of your drawing?
I almost cried.
Almost cried? It was super exciting, right? To be 7 years old and have your own exhibit, that must be pretty amazing. Yeah. So what kind of reactions did you get whenever people came to look at your pieces?
One girl said that I just walked in and I looked at one piece and I knew it was going to be amazing. That just made me feel really happy. So
is art something that you've always kind of wanted to do since you were little?
Yeah, when I was like 3, I always dreamed of having my own space with my dad and working with him.
And now it's coming true. So is this something that you want to keep doing whenever you get older? Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I have one more question for you. What would you say to somebody who maybe saw a picture on Facebook or saw something about your exhibit and they thought about coming to see it, but they're not really sure? They don't know if they're going to come see it. Why should they come see it?
Well, because it's awesome. And I guess I worked really hard and I think they should see it because, well, it's special to me and I hope they like it.
And it's a beautiful exhibit. I really do love what you did here. And it's very inspiring to see such young talent doing what they love to do. Well, thank you so much for talking to me about the exhibit. I love it, and I hope that people come out to see it because it's going to be really cool when they do. Once again, the exhibit here at Outer Space is titled Inspired, and it's a collaboration between Harlow and her father, Trent. It's truly a unique exhibit, and if you want to check it out for yourself, it'll be on display until December. The gallery is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can find them here at 230 Avenue C Southwest in Winter Haven, and admission is free. Visit them on Facebook for more information. Now, anyone who's involved in the arts can tell you that there are many benefits from it, and many would say that it can be healing and therapeutic. RePurpose Art Studio is a nonprofit organization looking to help spread that cause to those in need. In partnership with Gospel Inc. and the Talbot House, Repurpose Art Studio reaches out to homeless and at-risk women or women who are just going through hard times, and it allows them to learn and create art. I met with one of the founders of Repurpose and two of the women that were recently impacted by the efforts to find out more on the program.
Repurpose started about 2 years ago, and so there's a couple of ladies that really got Repurpose going. They were coming to Gospel Inc. We used to serve meals, and so they would come to the meals and they asked, how can we serve the community? And I recommended that they reach out to the women in the neighborhood. And so they came up with the idea of having an art studio for women where they can come, really have a community, like a family, to engage, and at the same time learn how to make, different products. And so it was a skills training, kind of job training program that has resulted from their vision to reach the women in the neighborhood. First and foremost, I would say it provides a community, like a safe community for women to come to and make relationships with other women that maybe aren't in their position but are wanting to kind of be there for them. I know there's one facilitator I was told that became a sponsor to one of the ladies that was coming, and so that's the kind of relationships that form when they come to Repurpose. For the 3 ladies who are part of the paid internship, for the benefit for them is they're earning an income while making these products that we produce, and through that are able to save money towards renting a place of their own in the future. And then it also gives them some skills and really just kind of a connection with us, which we can then recommend them to a company or something for the future. So it puts them in a position to do job training, make some money, and hopefully help them transition into something more permanent down the road.
Oh, I've been living where I am at Talbot House for almost a year, and it was probably January, February that I went over to just go to some of the classes and just get acquainted with them. And since June, I've been one of the interns. Brian talked to our program director and explained what they wanted, what they needed, what they were looking for, and our counselors picked us to go. It's been really good for me. I'm in the STEP program, which means I'm saving money to get my own place and waiting for a place to become available for myself. And it's given me some more cash to get closer to that goal, but it's also given me friendships and a place where I can feel comfortable, relax. We are encouraged to be ourselves and to explore creativity.
The women who really established Repurpose Art Studio and had the vision for it, their idea was basically that they knew that women coming in could potentially have gone through some really difficult, challenging times, and that those experiences that they had could be repurposed into something beautiful. And so it was a bad experience that they may have gone through, but there can be good that comes from it. And so it was kind of tying the two together of working with the ladies that are working through stuff themselves, and then also repurposing different materials in order to make a beautiful product.
I, through my own personal situation, have been at risk for quite some time, going through a divorce, and so I was looking for resources where I could earn an income or something, and I honestly don't know how their number got into my book, but I wrote it down. So I called and I said, hey, I think maybe I have some skills that could help, and maybe in turn I could, also be helped. I do art that gives voice and validity to whatever I'm painting on. I don't try to recreate something new. I don't try to hide the blemishes. I try to look for whatever story is in there. For instance, the plywood pieces that I do, I'm literally just painting on the grain. These are images that I see that are overlooked because it's been given a label of plywood. I think it comes from my desire for people to view me or other people that way. We are very used to looking at people with labels, often defined by their situation or aesthetic qualities that they had no control over, and I believe that, you know, everything has so much beauty and so many purposes. You know, when I paint on plywood, I'm not trying to cover up that it's plywood, I'm celebrating that it's plywood. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a place that they belong, where they're needed, and as well as can be accepted and helped.
I would really encourage them to come and see what we do. We have so many different aspects of art to offer them. Everything from coloring, which is very therapeutic, and it's actually something that has come about in the last few years as being very helpful. And we do things like that, string art, crochet, sewing, lots of things that we can do. And we'll come up with more if we need to, just to help them get inspired and relax and express themselves through art some way.
When I found this and I talked to a woman who works there named Regina. She's the first contact, and then she she introduced me to Brian. And when he talks about the vision, it's so close to my heart in terms of not only what I need, but what I've always wanted to give. And Repurpose Art Studio is an opportunity for me to do both of those things.
I'm really thankful that God has started Repurpose, because He's in it, and it is a wonderful ministry for me personally, because it's given me a chance to reignite my own creativity and provide me with just the knowledge that I can use my creativity even now to earn some money to help myself, support myself.
I have spent a lot of years feeling as though I don't exist. I knew that I had a voice, and I knew that I had something to say. But it wasn't being heard. I feel heard.
If you know someone who can benefit from the efforts of Repurpose, or you'd like to get involved by volunteering, give Brian a call at 863-808-9440 or email him at brianseeley@gospelinc.org. For more information on Repurpose as a whole, visit their website, www.gospelinc.org. That's all I have in store for this month, but as always, stay tuned for some upcoming art events in your area, and tune in next month for more art out and about.